Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of The Stone Genius. My name's Ro, I'm the Stone Genius. You know me, I'm often stoned, I'm always a genius. I'm not always a genius. I mean, I say stuff and you're just like, nope, there's no way he's in one of those societies. Hey, we're welcoming back to this show today. We're going to welcome Alex Kranzberg from Kran Organics. Welcome back to the show, Alex. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me.
Oh, you're welcome. So we talked briefly about your new edibles, your gummies that are hitting the market in Missouri. And the thing I keep forgetting right now is they don't melt.
They do not melt.
And that is amazing. So for someone that has never had a gummy melt on them, it is so depressing. You forget and you get back to the car or wherever it happens to be. In our case, it was the car. And you're just like, oh, hold on, I got a sound for that. Yeah. So, and we would have had I don't know if I ever told you this before. So when we went to Denver, bought some, and I think it was 100 milligrams, 10 pieces. Left it in the car. Didn't even think about it. It was a 100-degree day, but it didn't. We left it in the car. It was one big blob.
You got one 100 milligram piece.
Right. So I said, we'll just cut it evenly-ish into 10 pieces. Boom. Same thing. I ate 9 pieces, 0. I think the one piece my wife ate, 100 milligrams. So, yeah.
Maybe you just got some samples without any THC.
I wish I felt edibles. I just have never, and now I think it may even be in my mind, where I will just talk myself out of any feeling. Although I got to tell you, so what was the official thing that we did pre-record button? What's that called? Rosin and...
Yeah, like a concentrate?
Concentrate.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and I haven't done that. So as much as my title says Stone Genius, it really is about flower. I really prefer flower, but man, that's pretty fucking nice.
So I was a straight flower guy for I don't know, a long time. I'll say 10 plus years.
Right. So you're saying there's still a chance for me?
Yeah.
Okay.
For sure. And I didn't like the concentrates. I didn't like dabbing. For me, it just makes me cough like crazy, and that's never enjoyable when you're coughing and choking. The next hit you take, even if it's a normal, reasonable hit, you're still gonna cough and choke, and it's not comfortable for me.
Right.
I can smoke blunt after blunt after blunt after blunt after blunt, infinity, and not have an issue.
Right.
But just the high temperatures of some of those dab rigs just it's just too hot for my throat.
Right.
Until on my birthday of last year. Some of my employees, friends, family, whatever you want to call them, everyone pitched in and got me a Puffco Plus pen, which allows you to do concentrates.
Right.
And from that point on, for probably 4 months, I didn't buy flour at all.
Really?
All I bought was concentrates.
So now, one of the things in edibles, I have really never had a full effect with an edible. Whatever my body, I just don't feel it. So the thing I like about flower is when I know the strain, I know it's going to last for this long. I'll have effects for this. So I will know those things. And that's one of the things that the people that, when edibles hit them, they don't always, it can vary in how long it takes to hit and things. So how is that for a concentrate? Is that more similar to flower? Or is it more similar? It is.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's more similar to flour for sure.
See, and that's one of the things I like. I want to be able to know that, and I always tell people, if you ever want to know that if I've smoked pot, just ask me if I will drive them or if I'll go somewhere, because I always want to drive anyway. And if I say, hey, yeah, but let's go in an hour and 45 minutes, you know that I probably just smoked 15 minutes ago. Because that's what most of my strain. I feel like after an hour, I'm good, but that extra hour just gets me to where I need to go. And that's one thing that I love about flower, though.
Yeah, very predictable.
Yes, it is. So, but that was amazing, and it was smooth, too.
Very smooth, and you'll get to taste more of the plant this way. It's at a lower temperature, and so what you're really tasting is the terpenes. And the terpenes really give it the aroma and the taste.
Yeah, I mean, and that's one thing I've noticed. I've been doing some carts.
This is also the purest form. I have carts as well.
Uh-huh.
And you can get live resin carts. But in my opinion, the concentrates doing it through this Puffco, it's going to be the most enjoyable as far as taste, smoothness, experience, effect.
Well, I've just noticed on the last few carts that I've got, they have almost removed entirely any hint of cannabis taste. Where I would still feel that, but the last couple ones I've got, it said it was grape, and usually it'd be like grape. It'd be like a grape joint. I mean,
Do
you'd be
you
like,
know if you're getting distillate or live resin? Or
that would take. I don't know that.
So if you're not getting the marijuana taste or flavor, you're probably getting distillate. It's a lot more discreet.
Okay.
And the only thing that distillate is the THC.
Okay.
Whereas the live resin has the other terpenes and other cannabinoids and more of the plant material. So it's going to taste more like weed and smell more like weed. But it's also, it's my preference. I don't enjoy distillate carts. Vaporizing. No, I don't enjoy the high from it because it's only the THC. And I enjoy more of the full effect of the full plant, like the entourage effect of having all the cannabinoids and all the terpenes.
And that makes more sense then, because I believe the cannabinoids and the terpenes will also give it some of its legs or life to it as well.
Entourage effect.
Okay. I like that. Did you come up with that?
Yeah.
Like it?
No, I didn't.
Okay. But the entourage effect, yeah, because when I do hit a cart, so that was one of my complaints just for myself, and I was doing it to myself, is that I would have a set amount of money, a budget that I was going to spend. And what I would want to, generally I would go, oh, well, if I get a little bit more of this, it's more cost efficient for me to do it this way. So I would almost always blow my money on like one strain. And then I was like, well, then I'm really talkative, but that's not helping my pain or sleep or other things. So I went with flower to do this stuff that I do. And then I got a cart for like bedtime, and I would hit it before bedtime. So that's kind of what I was doing. So it would get me into bed. But if I do a cart during the day, it would seem like I don't understand people that go, oh, this 1 gram cart will last me 2 weeks. I'm like, a 1 gram cart will last me like 2 days if I don't have flour or anything else.
Yeah.
I mean, I just feel like I always need to hit it.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like for myself, the way I view carts is they're great for when you don't want to smell like weed.
Right.
If you're in a pinch, you just need something really quick. But for distillate, for me, the high, there's a lot more THC in distillate typically.
Right.
It's because
and that's probably what it is. Because like the carts that I'm getting, well, if it's a sativa cart, often it'll be 90% is what it says THC.
Mm-hmm. Whereas the live resin's not going to be that
Okay,
high.
so then probably what I am getting is the distillate then, because that's generally the numbers associated. But I didn't know what I knew that it was a number and it was THC, and I was like, higher the better. I mean, I don't know if that's true in that.
No, it's not.
Okay, see?
It's all about the terps.
There you go. Yeah. And see, I'm such a cannabis novice that that's something I need to make change. I need to force myself instead of just being comfortable, because
Come to some events. There's like dab bar. You can learn a lot.
It is. And I do want to do that. And this, I do the same exact thing. I mean, did I text you this morning about a show, or was it yesterday? I think it was
today.
Yeah. And you was like, I'm available 6:30 tonight. So,
which is very rare, as you know.
Right. And so I just want you to know that when I say this, often when you tell me of an event, it's within 12 to 20 hours of the event. So I'm not saying, because I do the same exact thing. I called you this morning and said, hey, and so you're here tonight. So I totally get it. But unfortunately, with my regular schedule, if I didn't have that thing in the way, gosh, socialized medicine would be a godsend for me.
It is becoming that thing, to tell you the truth.
Yeah. I mean, I would be doing that because I would love to come to an event. I would like to see, because I haven't been. In fact, we were talking pre-record that, I've just hit the drive-through because it's so easy. Why would I park and get out of my car and exert effort when I can just like literally push a button and hand someone my debit card?
Yeah.
I mean, it's so much easier. So
I have actually yet to use a drive-through. I like going in and talking to them and seeing the products and selling products.
Now, I will tell you, now I have only been into 2 dispensaries here in the greater Kansas City area. Not sure of one of them's name.
Where was it?
Lake Lotawana.
Kansas City Cannabis.
Okay. And then the other one is Greenlight. So I've been, Kansas City Cannabis seemed to be more set up like what I was accustomed to in Colorado, where it seemed like more product was visible. It was there at the way that the whole setup was. When I went into Greenlight, they had it was all about the video screens, what was available. Very little for you to look at or anything else like that.
And the reason that is for the one on State Line that I've heard, they cannot keep up with, like, a product will come in one day and it'll be gone the very same day.
Yeah. And that can be tough. Yeah. And it's especially with me for flour, because I can go any day of the week. If I wanted anything, I can get whatever I need there, except flour. I mean, it got so bad last week. They used to have on their drop down flour, and then it would say nothing available. They literally took the thing that said flour off. So it was like that didn't even exist for a few days. So that's been tough. Now, is that hard for you with the shortage of Missouri for flour? Does that impact you as a
Only
gummy?
monetarily.
Okay.
It just makes our oils more expensive.
Okay. Okay.
We have to fight the same demand.
Yeah. So are you at this point? So we've been recreational for 6 months now. Not that 4 months.
Yeah, about 4 months.
Okay. How are you kind of seeing the changes from the medicinal Missouri to the recreational Missouri? Or is there, from your position, what you do with your company, do you notice much?
That's a tough question for me to answer, and the reason is when we launched in medical, a very limited number of patients, potential patients to buy our product, and we didn't launch with a gummy. We launched with a very niche product, and we did all the numbers. There's a total of 200,000 patients. Most of them like flowers or concentrates. The remaining percent that like edibles, I think something like about 15% of the 200,000. And then of that 15% of the 200,000, roughly 80% purchase gummies. So we launched with the frozen cheesecake, the chill cake, with a possible potential of 6,000 patients. And when we were on the market for that, there's a lot less patients. Within like 4 months, I think we had about $40,000 in sales. And we did that within our first couple of weeks with the gummies.
Really? So now is...
I mean, that's because they're gummies, and it's a recreational market.
Right. So are chill cakes still out and available? Or have you transitioned to just focus on gummies at this point?
We're focusing on gummies at this point, and that's only because it's out of our control.
Okay.
Our current manufacturing facility does not have freezing capabilities for us at the moment. So we are waiting on that. We have a call tomorrow, so we're coming out with our chill cake bites.
Really?
We're reformulating them. They're not going to be chill cakes. They're going to be chill cake bites. They're going to be the size of gummies, so that way you're not going to have to slice them. They're just going to be pre-dosed and pre-sliced and just little.
Because I will tell you, I'm not a cheesecake guy, and we had sampled a couple. Bobby really liked both of them, but the peanut butter and jelly one was simply amazing. I'm not in.
We didn't even launch that one. That one's my favorite too.
Really?
Yeah.
That was amazing.
Thank you. We'll probably come out with that one.
Yeah, it was funny and it was grape jelly too, because I started, because of course.
Blueberry jelly.
Was it? Oh, you shouldn't have told me that. I was thinking it was great because I was.
Maybe it was.
That's one thing that always sticks in my head. That like if you would have told me like
maybe
blueberry.
It was. I don't remember.
Okay, it's fine if it was because it's already in my set. It's already gone through. But whatever it was. When I first first heard about it, I was like a cheesecake, and keep it in the freezer and stuff. But it was amazing. It really was. And so I'm glad to see that those are coming out. And then
we're also coming out with our cookie dough it's going in the same freezer. So you can either eat it raw or bake it.
Nice. Yeah. And that's one thing I would like to have baked goods. So Bobby bakes a lot. and I think that she could incorporate, and I think it would be interesting and fun. I think it would be, she likes challenges, sometimes in baking and designing and things. So I think that she may enjoy doing that at some point. Because I always get blamed. Like if she bakes cookies or brownies, I take them to work. Everyone's always like, "Are these the special ones?" And I'm always like I would give them to you fuckers.
You think you experience that?
Yeah. Oh, you got free stuff for me? No. Oh my God, that I can't even imagine.
But you know what? In dispensaries, I get it from both people. Why would I want it if it's not infused? Well, so you know what it tastes like, so you know what the texture's like, so if you want to buy it.
Right.
And then the other people are like, well, I can't have weed. I got this and this to do. So like, you can't get like, you're fucked if you like have uninfused samples. You're fucked if you have infused samples.
Yeah, well,
You can't make anyone happy ever.
No, that is true. That is. I mean, yeah.
At least I can't.
I
Maybe
don't know.
you can.
I still have, and I got to get ready to do this because it's been. I keep forgetting. Well, that's not it. Shit, I think it's here. Yeah, my Cap Up
Mushrooms.
Yeah, Milk Wonderland, milk chocolate, psilocybin chocolate.
Have you tried those before?
I had one like this before, but it was the first time I had ever done them. So I think that it was, I don't know, I don't remember how I think it was, they do it in grams or something. Mm-hmm. So I think it was like 6-gram candy bar. Does that sound right?
The entire candy bar? Or
Yes.
6 grams of mushrooms?
I don't know. So anyway, I broke it up into like thirds. Okay. So I was doing like 2 grams. I'd have to ask.
2 grams of shrooms or chocolate?
The candy bar, whatever it was.
Okay.
I don't know. I think it was 6 grams of mushrooms total. Because they said if I did the whole thing, I'd be out of my head for not ever doing it.
And how did it go?
Well, I only did like 2. I did, a third each time. And then I continued to smoke because I didn't really feel much. So I felt like I was enhanced with my high, but I didn't know, there was nothing abnormal or new for me. So this candy bar is going to be at one sitting on probably an empty stomach. I'm trying to do all the research to find out the best way to experience this fully. So
enjoy.
Yeah. Now, have you tried psilocybin before?
Define try.
Once or more?
I've tried it.
Okay, we'll go with that.
I went to the Tears for Fears concert, and the Cold War Kids were opening up for them at Starlight the other night, and I had some mushrooms.
Oh my God, I'm like thinking you did psilocybin back in 1998 because I'm like hearing Tears for Fears. So okay, this is recently too.
Oh yeah, this is like on Friday.
Okay, I'm thinking like when they were originally out, whenever that was.
Oh, it was a great show.
I'm sure it was.
It was a great
They
show.
were great when I was in high schoolish. I don't know when that was actually.
So it was I took some mushrooms and then I had a package of gummies and then I went over to my friends and started smoking. And when we got to the concert, I completely forgot that I had a bunch of mushrooms and an entire package of gummies. And I'm thinking, good God, I'm fucked up from that joint. What is going on? I was like, that joint is just like hitting me super hard. And I was like, oh shit, my night's just beginning. I had quite a bit of mushrooms and an entire package of gummies. That's what's going on.
I want something. And I don't care, because some people were like, how about if it's a bad trip? And I'm like, well, I don't even know what that means. I don't even know. I'm like not going into it like, I don't know. I don't even know what to expect. I just hope I feel something, because that's the one thing that ticks me off about like gummies or just edibles in general is when I take them and I'm like I'm so set with anticipation, and then hold on, where's my sound on that? Oh, I was on the. That's where my keypad's not working.
Is the volume down on it?
No. That's weird, though. Yeah, well, what can you do? And it's not scrolling. None of that keypad's working.
Maybe reset it. Turn it off, turn it back on.
We'll be good. That's weird, though.
Super weird.
Well, hold on. I don't think I touched anything. That's what she said. I don't even have my snare drum or anything. Yeah, nothing's even. Yeah, even though I touch up there. Crazy. Love technology. Yeah, well. Then we'll just have to talk no special sound effects.
We can make
that's
'em.
the only good thing about this is insured and the brand new replacement for this just came out. So
Nice.
I can't even go wah 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 for this one. But that's what it gets for not being able to do that. Okay, so your first time, whenever that may have been, doing mushrooms to the extent you felt something. What was your experience? Like, what did you see? Like, I don't even know. Like, some people would be like, oh, you see shapes and stuff. And I'm like, what the fuck does that mean? I see shapes all the time anyway. So
my first time doing it, it was a very, very awesome experience, actually. I didn't have any visuals. I have this knot in my scapula, subscapula, rhomboid area on my back. And I sometimes get like a racquetball. Or I'm sorry, a lacrosse ball, and I'll lay it down on the ground and kind of just roll around on my knot. Just kind of let my body guide itself and do that. And one time I was on shrooms and I was doing that. And at the point in which the ball hit my knot, which that area is a very, very common place where people store traumatic memories. Right when that ball hit my affected area, there was this electrical feeling that was released through my meridians. And at that time, I had this thought that I hadn't thought about and locked it out from when I was probably 7 or 8 years old.
really?
Yeah, like a trauma that happened. And it just felt like this release right when it rolled on there. So it was a very, very great experience. I should call my parents up and talk to them about what happened.
Wow.
Yeah. So it was a very, very, very good experience. And I'm trying to think the first time I had visuals. I've never seen crazy visuals, but what I have seen grain on wood, or if I'm walking outside on a trail, the asphalt has the different rocks.
Right.
They kind of look like scales or a snake or something moving. I didn't think it was a snake. It just had movement to it, not normal movement. And same with the grain on woods, or I was laying down looking up at trees and just looking at the way they moved. Movements for me is what I saw. I've never had any super big visuals with mushrooms.
I don't know what I'm expecting, but I just want it to be oh, okay. I know I 100%, because that's one thing. Every once in a while, someone will smoke, they'll smoke and they're like, oh, I don't feel it. I don't feel anything. And I'm like, oh, that's so disappointing, because if you feel it, it can feel really good. So
Yeah.
I guess that is what I'm hoping for. I guess I said I didn't mind if it's a bad trip. The only reason I say that out loud is because if it's a bad trip, at least I know that I was on a trip, as opposed to.
So I will say I've never had a scary or a quote bad trip. I have had an unenjoyable trip. And for me, that trip, it was only unenjoyable because of my own inner opposite of peace.
Right.
My own inner struggles, if you will. I was facing things that I needed to face but didn't want to. So that's why I say it wasn't a bad trip. It wasn't enjoyable.
Right.
But it was definitely, I don't want to say it was life-changing and changed my life, but it definitely made me think. It was just at a point in my life where I was like, okay, not happy with where I'm at. This is what I need to do.
It's amazing that, I love drugs. I often think I don't do enough drugs. I think that's actually my problem, that I need to up the dosage of anything that I can get my hands on and actually do more drugs. Because there's.
Have you ever tried DMT?
I haven't. That is one that is on my list. Hold on, is that the one that they call the God drug? Mm-hmm. Yes, that is definitely on my list. I want to experience that, because I remember once I was laughing hysterically, having a fit of laughter, being pretty high, and Bobby, for whatever reason, was not enjoying my highness as much as I was.
Because she wasn't high.
And
like you.
I remember saying to her, I go, I want you to know, if I could feel the way I feel right now for the rest of my life, that would be an amazing life. Because whatever I was feeling was causing me to laugh. And then yesterday, we were joking around, and I sometimes forget that even though she's younger, she's 7 years younger than I am. I'm 55, she's 48. I don't think about that always in the bedroom. So at one point a few nights ago, both the top of her head and the tips of her toes were touching our headboard. And I don't give that much, I don't give it a lot of thought. But then I started thinking, if she tried to put me in that position.
Well, you're also a guy.
Well, yeah, but just my body wouldn't bend. And like a lot of I got injured 3 times, 2 of them requiring medical attention in an 8-day period during sex. So, it was just funny because I don't think a lot about that. And I do think that some of the weed strains and stuff like that, just for whatever reason, if I could always feel like I do on my best highs, even my worst highs, I guess. My best highs, it's pretty amazing. But yesterday, she goes, let me show you what it's like. And so I laid on my back, and she goes, let's see your toe. My toes didn't get anywhere near the headboard. And then she made me get on all 4. Now, when I came to, I go, well, hold on. Let's set a timer for 1 minute, and let's just have you do some pelvic thrust for 1 minute and see how that goes. So we didn't get quite that far. But I thought that if I was going to have to go through that, but my toes didn't get anywhere near the headboard.
Yeah.
I will tell you that when I go to dispensaries right now, it is funny, though, that everyone that I see looks like, not everyone, most of the people I look like me. I mean, they're just older, middle-aged, older people, and they're the ones that at least going at the same time I am.
Yeah.
And it's probably because the younger people can go later in the evening past 7 o'clock. But it is neat to see it becoming more acceptable.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's why I say that even in Johnson County, Kansas, as a white guy, I'm not sure that they would do a whole heck of a lot. Maybe don't do that.
Yeah.
And maybe it would be more than that. I don't know. I don't want to find out.
I don't want you to find out either.
That would be the worst. I mean, and we talked about this pre-record too. The last time you were on, I think the last time we talked about the prison gangs we've been, which was a very popular show.
Should we revisit it?
We could, but I think the biggest thing for me is to stay out of prison.
I think so. You and I both.
I mean, God, I would just be, and maybe I'm thinking too high of myself. There's a certain amount of hubris in this, but I would be raped almost immediately, and I don't like that.
Like, if we went to prison together, I'd probably rape you immediately.
Yeah, look, he's my bitch.
Oh God, I can't believe I said that.
Yeah, well, it would be the same thing as if you went up and punched someone immediately.
I often think that if I did go to prison, have you seen Shawshank?
I have not.
What?
I know.
I would be like Andy Dufresne. I'd be like friends with the guards and the inmates.
So who's that? Who's Andy Dufresne?
Is
Is
like
that
a banker that went to jail?
so? Is that Tim Robbins' character?
Probably. I don't know.
The guy from Bull Durham?
Haven't seen it.
Oh my gosh. So, but I say that, and you're watching meaningful movies. I'm watching baseball movies, but not even real baseball movies. It's like minor league baseball movies.
I watched a really good movie the other night. I'd recommend to you.
And it is
Race, RACE.
Okay.
It's with Jesse Owens, or about Jesse Owens
Okay.
in the 1936 Olympics in Nazi Germany.
Yeah.
Jason Sudeikis does an amazing job as the track coach. Great movie.
So
And very historically accurate.
Really?
Yeah, very historically accurate. When I was in Germany, I went on a bunch of tours. I have a fascination with the Holocaust, and Hitler and Nazis and all that fun stuff.
okay. So everyone that knows you're Jewish.
Only by birth.
Okay. So
Yeah. So I have this fascination. Thought it was really interesting. And during the movie, they show the Colosseum being built. And there was a very famous architect named Albert Speer who was, the architect for all of these huge coliseums and buildings.
Right.
And this was in modern day Berlin. As we know that the Nazis were going for total world domination. And so they were building the world's capital in modern day Berlin. That was called Germania. And that is where it was just really cool that they talked about that during the movie. And I was like, oh, I've been there. I got to see that tour. I know that architect that we're talking about.
That is some interesting. Because I watched something recently on what they said Hitler's plans were for America, and I keep thinking Germany's pretty fucking small for a country.
Yeah.
And I'm always like, that seems like, I mean, it's not like it was Russia. Russia, you're like, oh, well, when you look at a map, look how big it is. You know, they would have resource or what. Yeah. That always just baffled me as well.
Yeah.
So,
and I was actually watching another movie not too long ago, within the past month.
how long ago was, as my voice cracks on that, how long ago was Race out? Do you know?
15 or 16.
Okay. I never heard of it, so I have to look that one up.
I hadn't either. It was really good. It's in my top 5 probably.
See, and I love biographical movies. I don't watch probably nearly as much because a lot of times Bobby and I are watching, and one of her biggest things about biographical movies, if she already knows the story, she's like, I know the end. I know the story. And I get that, but sometimes, I mean, seeing it instead.
Details.
Yeah. And, you know, maybe the details, then you have to figure out, were the details in the movie correct, or were the details that I had heard about correct, or somewhere in between?
They could both be correct, or they could both be incorrect.
Yes. Yeah.
So, and then the other movie was, I can't think of the name, but there was a
Cocaine Bear.
No.
Cocaine Shark.
No.
Also a movie.
This was about also about World War II.
Uh-huh.
And it was about a group of Americans who were like art people. I don't know what the correct term. They were art people, and they were sent over to Germany to find all of this stolen art that was stolen from the Jews. And there's a scene in which they go to the Neuschwanstein Castle, which is the castle that Walt Disney modeled his castle after.
Right.
And the Nazis.
Oh, I think I've seen that one. I think I've seen it in pictures.
I think it was Brad Pitt in it. I think Brad Pitt's in it.
Okay.
George Clooney's in it. There's a bunch of big name people in that one. And they go to that castle, and then they hit a bunch of art, and that castle was rigged to explode, but they were not able to explode the castle before the Allies got there.
Really?
It was really cool because I got to go to that castle and take the tour of that.
So the guy who was in, and his episode will be out before this one, but Jason, he goes to sales and stuff, and has recently found something that they believe may be a Rembrandt. And so the provenance on it was two brothers, one in World War II that was in the army or whatever, and the other was a priest, and I forget where, Iowa, Illinois or something. And the brother, if they found some, he would buy art, or if they found it or whatever, then, or I don't know how else. He would say buy, and then there's other, I don't know exactly how else they would get it. If they would steal it, loot it, I don't know what, but he would send it back. And so it looks like it's an actual like charcoal, and it looks amazing, and it could actually be a Rembrandt. So he's in the process of finding that out. But it's just weird that something like that, with your story, tying that in, because that's just a story that he was talking about earlier, with something with the art like that. But I'll have to look into that story, because I think I've seen that castle that you've talked about, but I didn't know the rest of that story with it.
It's really cool. I actually still talk to my tour guides. I became friends with them when I was in Germany, and I still talk to them once a week or so.
I can see that. I think that you and I are very, there are certain people that I can meet for a very short time and then still have. I flew to North Carolina to look at a car to buy at a dealership there. And so I flew out, and the thing was, I'll look at the car. If I don't like it, I fly home. So the guy picked me up at the airport, went back to it was at a Mercedes dealership. It was a Toyota Sequoia, though, and looked at the car, bought the car. I was with the guy for 3 hours, and that was 13 years ago, and we still will interact and stuff like that. So,
yep.
I can see that in you being talking to the people that your guides and things like that.
When I was I don't know, like 18 or so, and I went to Israel on an organized trip with my college, and there was about 40 of us from the University of Kansas. Actually, I don't know if there's. We teamed up with SDSU, Southern or San Diego State University, I think. And we went on this organized tour called Birthright. Every Jew from the age of 18 to 26 gets a free trip to Israel. It's a free 10-day trip. And while you're there, they pay for your food, your hotel, your lodging, everything, the tours, the excursions. Right. And you have armed guards with you. And the armed guards are the same age as you because military service is mandatory.
Right.
So you get to become friends with soldiers. And I still talk to all of the soldiers.
Wow.
There's like, I think, 8 of them. And every single time I go back to Israel, I meet up with at least 3 or 4 of them. Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah, it's really cool.
What was your favorite thing about Israel? Location or site or?
Actually, well, it's not my favorite, but it's the Stone Genius. But Israel was the very first place I ever smoked weed. So that was cool. But actually, my very favorite memory, it was really a feeling when I first landed there for the first time I was ever there. I just had this overwhelming feeling of like home, even though I'd never been there. And it's so weird from going when you're 0.2% of the population to 80% of the population.
Right.
I can't describe that.
Yeah. Yeah. I would I would think that would be a huge change because I know that, so most of my friends growing up were Jewish. I mean, just in where I grew up in, for the most part in southern Johnson County, Kansas, but it never hit me until the people that I grew up with started having children, and they were concerned about the schools that they went with and it was more about the days missed because they didn't want them to be, and it may not happen as much bullying as it did back in the 70s and 80s, but when a child missed for Yom Kippur or something, and like you said, 99% of the school is still there, and you had, Ira was the student that was missing last week. So I can understand why that would feel. Now, could you feel? You said you felt at home. Could you feel like? Did you ever feel like energy of the history of the place as well? Did you ever feel like that?
Let me think about that. If I have to think about it, I guess the answer is no.
Well, because I talk about this when I'll go to somewhere, like we have Union Station here in town, which I grew up when it was dilapidated and you would sneak in and there would be hobos and pigeons. That was it. And it's been redone. And they have this beautiful grand hall. And I will go in there when we travel by train because that's not where the trains come and go from anymore. It's the next building over. But I'll go stand in that grand hall and just try to feel the energy. Because that used to be everyone, before air travel was really popularized, I mean, everyone traveled through Kansas City. It was the center of the United States. And if you're especially East Coast, West Coast, North, South, you went through Kansas City. And sometimes I feel like I can almost hear sounds and things like that. But that's one, because as a Christian, a lot of it's based in the Jerusalem area, Sea of Galilee and things like that. So I would always I've never been there. That's one thing I would like to go and see if I felt any energy or something like that.
Maybe I definitely did feel energy. Like maybe that's what I was talking about.
I guess. Yeah, and it very well could be.
And it was like that feeling that I can't describe.
Right.
Yeah, it was.
Because I would assume, especially with the way that we were probably raised, that if we were to feel, it would be different types of energy that we'd also feel. So I can understand why that may make you have felt like a homecoming, whereas it may feel maybe similar but different for me at the same time.
At the same time, I don't think that my brother or my sister would have that same feeling.
Yeah. How many times have you been?
And I'm not religious. Everyone laughs when I say I'm not religious. I don't believe in God. I'm not a religious person.
Right.
I like the traditions and the culture, and I think Jews are just quirky, weird people, and I fit right in.
Right.
But yeah, I love being Jewish. But
so
I'm not religious.
Were your parents? Were you raised going to temple, or
I hated going to Sunday school from day one. I never enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I didn't learn Hebrew until I went to college. I could read it before, but I didn't learn to speak it or anything until I went to college.
Right.
Because that's when I really had an interest.
So you don't believe in God. Do you consider yourself an atheist then? Is that
No,
or
I don't.
okay.
Because an atheist is making a claim that you know, and I don't know.
Okay.
So
So do you think there's an afterlife?
I don't know. I'll let you know. I'll let you know when I die.
I don't think you will be able to. So that was
Everyone else claims they can.
Oh my God. So here, I didn't have pushback. And the guest, I very much enjoyed having the guest on, and I very much enjoyed everything that she does and has done. She was a skeptic about psychics and has done a lot of research and is kind of turning. My only problem is that when they're communicating, like one of her stories was she always used aliases and things like that, so no one could do a background check on her. So they couldn't go, oh, well, your dad is, because I guess her parents may have been of some note or notoriety. So, but the dad, like the way they were communicating, the medium said, oh, well, the dad was pointing at something and that was supposed to reference the mom. And it's like, why wouldn't he fucking just say your mom said, or what? I mean, I don't understand why everything turns into like mime.
I've always thought it'd be really funny to go to a psychic and then like get up and leave without paying. And they're like, hey, you need to pay. Like, you should have saw that coming.
Yeah. I mean, and then they go, well, it's certain and all this, but
But to be fair, I have deja vu dreams. I haven't had it in a long time.
Right.
But I've had them 20, 30 times, and it's always to prevent like an awkward argument or a weird situation, and I can't explain it. So maybe psychics are real. I don't know.
Yeah. But I
preach, I don't know.
Yes, and I would agree with that. My thing is I would go quicker to a multiverse, and that I just happen to already live that time in a different universe or a similar time. And so it just catching up with me, and that's why I saw it. I would jump to that more than I would something from.
I do think there's something to Jewish mysticism and Kabbalah and shit like that.
So explain that to me,
I don't know enough about it to like explain it, but I do know. So Hebrew,
right?
It's a numerical language. Every letter has a number associated attached to it. The sum for the word for mother and father is the exact same as the sum for the word parents. Numerically. There's a movie called Pi. Have you seen it?
I have not.
Are you a number guy? Or
I am.
Okay, watch Pi.
Okay.
You know the Fibonacci sequence?
Yes.
That can be found in the Torah.
Really? Interesting.
Yeah.
I was trying to explain to our youngest child I think it was to them. I was explaining the Dead Sea Scrolls to someone, and I think they got hung up on the part of the story where the kids why were the kids throwing rocks in the caves? And I'm like, I don't know. That's what they fucking did back then. I mean, why are we stuck on that point of the story? Let's talk about the ancient scrolls that they ran into. So I am with you. So when I talk about I think the afterlife will either be amazing or it will be nothing. And I hope it's amazing. But then I've got...
Here's a question I have.
Yes.
The devil has a bad rap. Why? If he's punishing bad people, why does it make him bad?
Well, so I have a lot of... So it sounds like that the devil Satan challenged God and was cast out into... I mean, once again, this almost goes into the mediums, like, you're not going to pay. Shouldn't you have seen that
What
coming?
did you say? That Satan challenged God, and that's why he's bad?
Yeah.
That's where Christianity and Judaism differs.
Oh.
I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't want to say anything wrong and offensive.
I say stuff wrong all the time.
Christianity, you are taught to accept the word, not to question the word. The word of the book, you're not supposed to question or argue? No? Yes?
Well, I believe that good Christians go that way, because people sometimes, they're like, I can't believe you say you're a Christian with the way you talk. And I'm like, I bet that I talk to God. I don't know you, but I'm going to say that I know that I talk to God at least 5 times a day, if not more. How often do you talk? I mean, I just get tired of, if God doesn't want me to say fuck or God damn it, then he's going to let me know when I get to heaven.
Yeah,
Okay.
or he'll strike you down now.
Yeah. Like, and he hasn't. So let's die. I mean,
Or it.
yes, I just,
They.
that, my thing also is, why would you, no matter what you did on earth, why would you be banished for all eternity to eternal damnation? That seems a little excessive.
I don't know.
So, and the things that I have done here, while they may not be bad and I may not get into heaven, but I don't think it warrants eternal damnation.
Back to what I was saying, though.
Yes.
Opposites, right?
Yes.
And to be considered a good Jew,
Yes.
quotations, the like the Orthodox, the black hats, they will spend their entire lives going and studying Torah and arguing every day. No, it means this. Well, it could mean this. This is my interpretation. This is what it could mean. In Judaism, we are literally taught to argue and question everything, not to just accept.
It worked out in the movie World War Z too.
And if you look at the way the Israeli military is set up, the structure, I mean, obviously they have higher ranking and they follow their
Chain of command.
Chain of command. But the soldiers on the ground have abilities to make decisions that no other military allows that to happen.
Right.
And just like a lot of the startups and a lot of the companies that come out of Israel, it's a very, very interesting work environment because the quote unquote bottom of the totem pole of these like tech companies and all these other like major companies, they're not dumb people by any means, and they have the autonomy. They argue their ideas out, and Israelis are very verbal, very, very just like
Right.
matter of fact, and it's a very unique industry. But they have there's a book called The Startup Nation, and Israel has more startups per capita than any other country, and they have more like books published, more people with degrees. It's the only democracy in the Middle East. It's a very, very awesome place.
So you say you're a non-practicing Jew? Is that what you? Or
I perfected it.
Oh, you perfected it. Okay. So if someone makes a comment, like, so because I'm just weird, like, and I'm also white and Christian, so I guess I mean, I don't know but I don't think there's anything. No one's ever in 55 years ever said anything that I have found offensive or bothered me. And so there was a thing with Johnny Bench this week where he said something about Pete Rose. They were inducting the guy who signed Pete Rose to his first contract. They were inducting him into that general manager into the Reds Hall of Fame, I believe is what it was. And he said something about, because the guy was Jewish, he goes, well, because he's Jewish, he only paid Pete Rose $400 a month. And like, there were a lot of people that like lost their minds about that.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely offensive. Do I get offended by that? Depends, right? Who's saying it?
Right.
I say offensive shit all the time,
Right,
towards Jews because I can. And I my non-Jewish friends like, you do that just because you can. I'm like, fuck yeah, of course I do.
Are you young enough, old enough? Are you old enough to have watched Seinfeld?
I love Curb Your Enthusiasm. Seinfeld is crap compared to Curb.
I will agree with that, but there was an episode where I think it's Jerry's dentist becomes Jewish, so
For
he
the
can
jokes?
yes,
Yeah.
for the jokes, and because that's what Jerry go. I think he'd be oh my god, I think the guy that plays the dentist was Walter White from Breaking Bad.
Could be.
Oh, whatever his name was. I think that's the guy who plays him. Now that I'm having a flashback, but
There's actually a similar character type thing in Curb, where they go to this attorney who has like a Jewish sounding name, and he uses Jewish words all the time and phrases and sayings, and he's not Jewish, and it's part of his thing. He like tricks people into thinking he's a better attorney for being Jewish or something weird. It's very funny.
So Yiddish is Jewish German descent, from what I've heard. Is that correct?
Yiddish literally translate is Jewish.
Okay.
A Yid is a Jew. Yiddish means Jewish.
And a goy means not Jewish. It means
anyone
me.
who's not Jewish.
The reason, one of the owners that I work for, he's from New York City, and
They don't
that's
have Jews there, do they?
no, but he uses a lot of Yiddish, and I'm just like
That's what my
that's a
grandparents-
gesundtefoot, and I'm like, I don't know what a gesundtefoot is, and he's like, but I'm like, I go, what does that mean? He goes, oh, it's Yiddish for what, and so it just, so I just think that. I do think that he was in an area of town that catered and the fine shoe store and stuff like that. So I think that's where he picked it up. But he uses Yiddish all the time.
That's what my grandparents spoke Yiddish at home all the time.
It was funny. What's the one? God, what does he call Matt all the time? Oh, fuck. Boychik.
Yeah.
He's always like, Boychik. And I'm like...
It's an endearing term for a young man.
It is, unless you're in Thailand. Then it means something totally different.
I get...
Dang it, I wish I had my drum roll.
I use that word all the time with, like, amongst my peers, and I just get weird looks all the time. Like, I'll post it on Facebook to people, and yeah, Boychik. That's a really... My grandpa used to call me that all the time.
Yeah, it was just funny because I was like, I was in Thailand, and that is not a good thing to ask for. Or maybe it is a good thing. I don't know. For me, not a good thing. Okay, so let's see. We've covered Yiddish. We've covered... that's all we've covered today.
That's it.
I know. So, so what do you got next on your calendar coming up? What's the next big thing for Kran Organics?
The next big thing. Well, we're working on automation for our gummies to increase output. So the next big thing is actually testing our prototype machine. We've been working on this machine for a couple months, and I'm ready to take it to our laboratory, and then either this week or next for our initial test, and then bring it back home and tweak it.
So is this something that you had this equipment that you've designed? Is this something that other companies you could sell out to other companies so they could make their gummies, or is it something that you wouldn't want to share, or that is specific to you?
I'd have to run the numbers to see which more profitable, I guess.
Oh, okay.
I mean, selling it, the idea is probably not. I don't know.
Yeah,
I guess
it's all about the Benjamins.
Yeah. We'll see.
Yeah. How was the Dirty Heads concert?
It was great.
Was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to see them live.
Part of it was great. Their opener was not my cup of tea. Like polar opposite music of what the Dirty Heads were.
Do you know who it was? I probably wouldn't know if they were the polar opposite. Actually,
he seemed very angry. He had two songs about crystal meth.
Seems like two more than most sets would need. I mean, I don't know. I've never done crystal meth. I've talked about.
If I can find what.
I've talked about how great drugs are. Crystal meth is not one of the ones that want to be on there. It's marijuana, love it. DMT, mushrooms, ayahuasca. I think I'd like to try. And
ayahuasca is very similar to DMT, except that you can make a tea out of DMT, and it's very similar to ayahuasca.
Okay. So then maybe I don't need to do both. Then there's the one where you lick the lizard.
Same.
Oh, that's the same? Oh. Well, good. I didn't want to lick any lizards anyway.
Yellow wolf.
Yellow wolf. Never heard. Okay. So, yeah, they're a good... You know what's funny is I find that a lot of times when I'll just like play reggae music, like videos on YouTube, how often they're white.
One more time?
Yeah, the whole band, you know. Them, Fortunate Youth, I really like too, and it's all reggae music and it's all white guys.
Yeah, reggae actually.
You know, actually, in 12 minutes, originally, if my wife would have gone as planned, in 12 minutes, I'd be at the Stephen Marley concert in Wichita.
There's a Marley concert coming in town here to Grinders.
Really? I wonder if it's Stephen as well.
It is. Actually, one of my concert-going friends just messaged me about it. And
see, that would be great. And then Wednesday, I was supposed to go see Cupcake down in Wichita.
Ziggy Marley.
Ooh, that's even better than Stephen Marley. Because Ziggy Marley, I can name at least 3 songs. Stephen Marley, I can name 1, and that's with Pitbull.
Did you know that Bob Marley's dad was Jewish?
I did not.
Was dad or mom?
One of them. Just say dad. No one. The people that listen to this show are either geniuses and think they already know the answer, so whatever answer you would have given, that would have probably been correct for them, or stoners, and they're not going to look that shit up. I mean, they won't. I have become such a bad stoner. I can't tell you how often I'll pack a bowl, get up and walk away. Never smoke it.
That's not a bad stoner. That's being a good stoner to yourself in the future.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Hey, future me, this is for you.
No, that's a trick. That's not a bad thing. You're gifting yourself, man.
Man, I can't tell you how often I'll walk over. I used to blame our daughter. Or our youngest child. I used to be like, Trinity, you packed me a bowl? Thank you so much. Because they smoke too. And they're like, I didn't pack you a bowl. I'm like, oh. And then I started, because then it used to be like overnight. I'd pack a bowl like for before bed and then I'd just go to bed. And so the next morning it'd be packed. But then I would find out that I'd pack a bowl, but then I'd go get a drink and I'd walk back over to the desk and sit down. And I'd be like, oh, my bowl's packed. This is awesome. So, yes, I need to look at it that way, that I am a good stoner.
Yeah.
I was thinking about it this incorrectly.
A bad stoner wouldn't even cash it out. They just leave it. Like, you're
Yeah.
a good stoner, man.
Yeah. I need to be a better stoner. That's what I'm going to strive for. And the second half of 2023, I am going to be a better, not only just stoner, but drug user in general. Because I don't want to limit myself.
I actually just bought a bowl yesterday. I don't like smoking out of bowls. I like blunts and joints.
See, and I don't like blunts and joints, and I don't know why. Part of it's I think they taste different, and the other thing is when I pack a bowl, I'll control how much. Oh, I just want to smoke this much, and then with a joint, I always feel like I'm obligated to finish.
See, with bowls, I get frustrated. It's like, I just want to keep smoking. I don't want
Right.
to stop what I'm doing, reload it.
Yeah, I do get
And
that.
plus, what's really great about the blunts and joints, the more you smoke it down, the resin just cakes on at the end.
Yeah.
And like the last quarter of that joint is just, you could save that and just get super stoned later.
Trinity recently
Or you
got.
can make a century. Have you ever made a century joint?
I don't know what that is. So
You save all your roaches and like you cut off like the burnt part and you just get like the really resin soaked weed from like 10 joints,
right.
and you roll that into one joint.
I've never tried that.
And then it's like a super resiny joint.
So Trinity recently bought one of the like infused wax sprinkle. I don't know exactly. It was a joint, but then the paper was rolled. It was like soaked in. I don't know exactly what it. But man, that was. I rarely get a good like initial hit. I mean, I'll feel it.
And that one
it'll
just got
it'll
you.
take an edge off or whatever. But that one like made me shut my eyes for a second. I was just like, oh yeah.
Do you ever get the hits when it feels like you stood up too fast?
No.
Yeah, like a
What?
whoa.
No, and the chocolatina, like Bobby even said recently that she doesn't think like what I've been smoking affect. She goes, I can't ever tell that you're smoking, or maybe it's just I'm smoking so much she just always sees me that way. But
You ever take tolerance break?
oh no, why would I want to do that? I mean, I get the premise behind it, but there's the other way to do it. Just smoke more. So. Yeah. And I've had to do that a couple times when I got COVID, and I wasn't able to smoke for, I know that it was only a few days, but man, that first hit coming back, oh. Yeah, I like that. Yum, yum. Gosh dang. God knew what he's doing when he created cannabis. I'm telling you, that was a good creation.
Oh.
Yes.
Yeah, so I like blunts and joints.
Yes.
But I did buy a piece yesterday. I bought a glass piece. And the only reason why I did it is because I got to meet the blower, the guy who made it. I went to this really, really awesome place in Polo, Missouri, about an hour and a half away. I got an invitation to go to this event of sorts at a
Come meet Joe the blower.
At a bunker. They go, do you want to go to this bunker? I was like, how do you say no to going to a bunker? I was like,
Yeah,
yeah.
I mean, you're Jewish. There should be nothing in the background that says maybe I should have a little pause of going to Central Missouri into a bunker.
Well, I was invited by people in the
The industry?
Well, Yeah.
Do they like you?
Yeah, they do.
Okay.
And I was like, "Is this a weed event?" And he's like, "Of sorts." I was like, "What does that mean?" And he said, "Of sorts." And I was like, "Okay." I go, "What can you tell me about this?" He goes, "I can't tell you much, but I was told it's definitely something you want to go to." So it's like a 10,000 square foot. It was built in the 1950s, a nuclear fallout, and it is fucking cool. There's like a portion of it that has like all this glass blowing equipment. It has like a full like house and apartment and workshop, and I'll show you the pictures of the outside. It just looks like a little fucking shack.
So that's one thing that I would like to get into. So my sister collects glass, like different types of like and they're pretty cool. And the way she does them with lighting, I decided I would like to do bongs. Like I got away from bongs for a long time. And then I started smoking a bong again, and
You walk down like 40 feet, and then it has look how big that door is. I took several.
See, and everything I would be saying is I would expect the guy from Saw
Oh,
to show up.
so you can actually see the Zillow of this place, and apparently the owners before were into some pretty fucking weird shit.
Well, they own a nuclear bunker, so
True. Yeah,
yeah. I mean,
yeah.
I don't know if I could live in that, man.
Oh man, there's probably like I don't know how. There's probably like 20, 30 of us, 40 of us there, and there was a lot of traffic going back and forth on this gravel road. And the people who own this place were like, yeah, word must have got out in town that something's going on here. And that traffic you're seeing is all the locals just being nosy and driving by and seeing what's going on.
Really,
Yeah.
man. I do think I would like to start collecting glass, like different types of bongs or pipes or things like that.
I have a huge collection. I never use it, and I haven't seen it in probably 2 years.
And I don't know if I would use them. I think that they would be great. Like eventually this year, I've been doing some testing on it. We're gonna get to video in this, and that's one thing I thought would be cool in the background. Is
Like a shelf.
Yeah, I have a shelf of that,
Yeah.
and then
I have some really cool ones, but I don't keep them in my house.
I used to have a couple of them, and then when we moved from the country, I gave them to our old next door neighbor. I was like, I'm not gonna need these in the city. If I had the button work, it'd go wah 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 wah.
I bet if you flip it off and flip it back on,
Yeah, but we would lose our. I don't need to do it.
Yeah, later.
When I can do it with my mouth, hold on. I may have to use that phrase on my wife later. If I can do this with my mouth. Okay, so what do you got? What are you looking forward to personally? Are you looking forward to the continuation of summer, fall get here, football season? I know you're a big Chiefs fan.
Yeah, looking forward to the Chiefs, but time of year is really fucking irrelevant right now. I'm just looking forward to when I can stop grinding so hard.
Yeah.
But I'm enjoying the grind. So
I mean, it could be a lot worse. You could be
Yeah.
doing the same exact grind in an industry that you fucking hated. Like
True.
perhaps feet.
Yeah,
Oh my gosh.
everyone's got feet.
They do. No, they don't actually.
True.
Yeah. Hold on.
If they were good Christians, everyone would have feet.
Maybe. I don't know how the. Maybe. I don't know
I
how
guess
the.
where I was going with that. If you do the right things, you'll be protected and you won't lose your feet.
Yeah. Well, I don't really.
Because we all know that accidents only happen to sinners.
Yeah. They always tried it. That's a tough one. You know what? They gloss over a lot of things, and that's probably one of the things they want to
It always
gloss
gets
over.
me when there's like a tragedy and perfect example, a plane crash. Like
Right.
100 people die, 3 people survive. Thank God for the 3 survivors. Are you blaming God for the 97 who didn't survive?
Yeah, it is what it is. I mean, watch videos. You see people that are riding their motorcycles down the street. A tire comes off another car, hits them, and they're killed instantly. They did nothing wrong. So, although they weren't doing anything wrong then, probably earlier they were.
One of my, I guess, favorite quotes that really made me question things was it was found at I think it was found in Auschwitz or one of the concentration camps, and it said if there is a God, he owes me an apology and an explanation.
I mean, Yeah. I mean, I always, thank God he gave me talent to win this football game.
Why don't they ever blame them when they lose?
Yeah.
Why'd you lose the game? It's fucking God's fault. What do you want from me?
I know. There's a lot. I think it's funny when they go.
I'm going to start doing that.
So my problem that I have, like, just let me deal with the Bible how I want to deal it. Let's don't have any conversations because I'm going to start asking you questions you're not going to want to answer. Like, I'll even start at the very beginning with Cain and Abel. Like, first of all, I'll go like, Cain murdered Abel. I think that's right. Cain killed Abel, and I'm like, but he didn't know he was doing anything wrong. They're like, he murdered him. I'm like, okay, that's the first 4 people. They're not going to know what murder is. And how would he know by hitting him with a rock or doing whatever he did that was going to result in him not being able to wake up the next day? So it's not that. And then I believe right after that, he decides to leave the Garden of Eden and for some reason goes over to the next town to the family and hangs out, like gets married to some chick over there. Which I was under the
They've got to
impression.
be cousins, though, right? At that point.
Well, I was trying to figure out who they were. I mean,
when you think about the whole thing, Adam and Eve, right? If they two started everything, the world's incest.
yeah. There's so many. The other thing that I have an issue with is when people are like, oh, God's all-knowing. God has a will. He has a purpose. There's a meaning for this. And it's like, okay, then why, as a Christian, did Jesus come when he did and not during the time of Twitter? Because I would just think as someone wanting to get my message out, that perhaps I would want social media instead of fucking 33 miles and a pair of sandals that I could walk back and forth. One side of the Sea of Galilee to the other side of the Sea of Galilee.
Yeah.
So those are some of my questions. I'm just like, it just seems like everyone always preaches patience. Like, oh, it's on God's clock and all this. And I'm like, well, if he
has more time than I do.
Yeah. And it seems like he could have waited. If the universe is X number of billion years old, it seems like 2,000 years. Yeah, oh no.
6,000 years old, okay?
Okay, that's fine too. The guy I had on earlier was telling me he's a flat earther, so I've been through the ringer.
Yeah. You don't know that the Earth's flat?
Sure. Yeah.
You've never been to the bottom of Earth before?
Nope. I've been to my wife's bottom a lot of times. Dang it, I need my boom bump. But no, not to the bottom of the Earth. So I ask him, I go, how does a solar eclipse work then? And I go, how about that means that the Earth always has to be facing exactly and not tilted in any. He's like, yeah, that could happen. I'm like, why does this seem like it's the easiest answer for you? So
It's God's will.
Yep. Flat Earth. And, they're probably going to start teaching that in school. I'm so sick of everything being, what's funny is the very first question I was going to ask you, we're an hour and 8 minutes in, I never even asked you. I was going to ask you about the Bud Light controversy. Because
They've lost a lot of money, I think.
Well, I wanted to ask you as an owner of a company, a brand, a product that you put out that people would go and they actively search it to find. That was what my original question was going to be is like, does that impact? Do you ever think about that?
I wouldn't do that.
Well, I mean,
not that I don't think people should have equal rights.
Right.
I just don't want to bring politics into this is such a fucking temperate environment. I'm in business to make money.
Right. And I never understood why anyone needs to be on anything. Like I grew up in the 70s where you had the Wheaties box.
At this point, I can't afford to alienate half of my potential clients or customers based on their beliefs. I don't agree with any of my clients or customers, I'm sure, right?
Right.
Like, I don't know.
Because I wanted to ask you because I wondered if that scared, like if that's always in the back of your mind, if you're going to start some sort of campaign. Now I got to fucking worry about all this other stuff, peripheral stuff that I never had to worry about.
I actually have conversations during the holiday times for creating posts. Is it okay to Kran Organics wishes you a merry this or a happy
Right.
this or a.
See, and I think that, and I don't know, I think that's a bunch of horse shit. I have never, granted, I grew up around,
We just wish him a high holiday.
most of my friends growing up were Jewish. And so it was not, I would be like, Happy Hanukkah. They would be like, Merry Christmas. And it was never like, oh, I can't believe you this, like, or if I didn't know someone was Jewish and I was like, hey, Merry Christmas. If they responded by Happy Hanukkah, even if they did it passive aggressive, I'd be like, oh, Happy Hanukkah to you. I would just go with, I've never understood. The last president used to always say
It always.
that you couldn't say Merry Christmas anymore, and I never found that to be the case.
When I text my Christian friends or my friends who celebrate Christmas, when I text them Merry Christmas, and they know I'm Jewish, it bugs me when they're like, Merry Christmas. It's like, fuck you. You know I don't celebrate Christmas.
Right.
Or like, it really bugs me when they wish me a Merry Christmas on fucking Hanukkah. They know it's Hanukkah. It's like, what are you doing?
Have you met people that are stupid? For the most part, they are.
I've been in public.
Yeah. It just,
I've looked in the mirror.
and I've just never understood, once again, words, I grew up with my parents always, sticks and stones might break your bones, but words will never hurt you. And I guess I always just took that to heart because nothing, I mean, like
Some people can't though.
I know. Like, I just would, if I said Merry Christmas to someone and they shot back, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, whatever, Happy MILF Day, I'd be like, hey, you too. I mean,
But
because I'm not the intent.
I will say, but when you are 0.2% of the population,
Right.
and you're constantly told year after year after, it's like, fuck, I don't want to hear it.
Yeah.
It's like, just don't say anything to me.
Yeah. I get it. I mean, I would just shoot. If I was you, I'd just shoot back. Well, happy fucking Hanukkah to you, motherfucker. Lean into it. Yeah. People, oh my gosh. I'm have another episode that I have already written about stupid people. And just almost every day at work, I'll send my wife a text within the first 30 minutes about I'm losing IQ point. I mean, just the stupid stuff that people talk about.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, how can you just not? And I think what their problem is because we can't have our phones on the floor. So they have to fill up the thumb scrolling with words because I can't just be with my own thoughts, but that's why I'm up I always go to the front left of our store and just stand there and stare off into space.
You would probably, I don't know, you'd be surprised how often I find myself stuck listening to something I could give two fucks about. I don't give a shit, and I've come so close. There are people I will say, like, hey, stop talking. I don't care what you're talking about.
Right.
Like,
I just walk.
And it's not to be mean or rude. It's just I don't want you to continue wasting your time.
Right.
I'm not enjoying this. Just stop talking.
Yeah. I'll just walk away. And some people will say that's rude. And I'm like, the other option is for me to say, whatever you're saying is stupid. I don't know. Whatever the case is, I'm walking away. So it's because most of it, I just can't stand little talk. And I think that's one of my
little talk's okay. I can't stand little talk about other people that I don't fucking know.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit about your workplace drama. Like, I don't know these people. It doesn't affect my life. Don't bother me with that.
Right.
Like, if you want to have a conversation, let's talk about something we could both talk about.
Yeah. I mean, the little talk is like here in Kansas City when it's 100 degrees in and someone comes in and is like, sure is hot out outside. And they want to talk. Yeah, no shit, motherfucker. I mean, it's just like stupid. It's like, can you just be quiet for a minute? On a previous show I talked about, I had forgotten my phone. I went to Chipotle for lunch and I got there at the wrong time. There were probably 15 people in line. I didn't have my phone. And in retrospect, I was glad everyone else did because they would have wanted to talk to me. Someone would have wanted to strike up a conversation when we stood in line for 20 minutes. Every single person
On their phone.
on their phone. The only smart person was the person that came in right after me. I actually held the door open for her. When she entered, she goes, you can go in front of me. And I think it's because she knew what she was doing. She ended up walking past me, going up to the front. She had ordered her food.
Online.
It was done, and then walked out. All these other fucking people, I couldn't do that because I didn't have my phone with me. All these other fuckers could have, but no, they just sat there and and I'm looking over their shoulder, and it's just like they'll scroll and look at something for like 2 seconds, 2 seconds, 2 seconds, not even that. 1,001, maybe not even 2 seconds. And it just amazes me that people just cannot shut the fuck up. But yeah, that's why I have a lot of problems with I just like with what I do now. I just want to, let's talk about the issue at hand. We don't need all this fluffer stuff. None of that. If we need to fill in some spots later, we can do that.
Yeah.
Fucking
I think that's what I like. I don't have lengthy conversations on the phone with my male friends.
Right.
I feel like I don't want to get to like a sex war or anything, but with my mom, for example, she'll try and talk to me on the phone and tell me like about her. I don't need to know about your day going to the grocery store. I don't need to know about your conversation with so-and-so. Like, tell me things I need to know.
Right.
I don't get it.
Yeah, I just it pains me. I don't suffer fools lightly, and it just fucking.
And as I get older, I feel like my patience with people is getting less and less.
Yeah, I'm going to be. If I get to the point that I would be an old man, I am going to be a bitter old man. Because and not on purpose, but like I was telling you earlier that I've done some scripts on Chat GPT and Google's Bard. That stuff is just going to make people dumber. Like Trinity was talking about, they're still in school and they're finishing up, and they know that some of the other students are using, because they'll say stuff about using that to create papers and stuff. That is not making you smarter.
No.
I mean, and I get it. Trinity has a IQ higher than mine. I always knew that. But one of the things that killed me was, and I don't know if it's still true, is they didn't know their multiplication table. Or they didn't just, and I get it. I'm a numbers guy anyway.
I remember teachers said, you're not always going to have a calculator in your pocket.
Yes, yeah, and now, but that's what they say.
You're not always gonna have a computer in your pocket.
She'll be like, "What's 6 times 8?" And I'm like, "Seriously?" And she goes,
"Everyone knows it's 64."
But I mean, but she says the same. They say the same thing. They're like, I don't need to memorize it. I have it in the phone." And I think Einstein, or a quote at least attributed to Einstein, was very similar, saying, "Why do I need to learn certain stuff when it's written down in books?" I mean. Yeah, you can reference it. Phones have made it worse, but there's some basic stuff. Like when I tell someone, and I talk about this a lot, when I'm like trying to, like, how can you figure out what 23% is? And I'm like, how can you not figure that out? Because they'll even I'm like, can you tell me what 10% of this is? And they're like, yeah. And I go, so then you could tell me what 1% is. Yeah. Okay. So
you can do that 3 times plus 2 times that?
Yeah. And then but then you just tell them how to do it, and they get this blank look like that didn't make any sense. And I'm like, but you have I can't do that in my head. But I will tell you that I'm glad that more people can't do that, because it is fun for me when people are doing stuff on a calculator and I just give them the answer as they're still punching in the last numbers, and they're like, yeah. I do find that a lot of fun. Because I know that people can't do that, and I'll just be like, and I'm not shy. I'll be like, I'm a genius, and I'll just turn and walk away from them. And I do think one of the best things that Bobby has ever said to me is, she once told me, she goes, I do think it's very sexy when you are a Mr. Know-It-All. Like when I'm out there and saying stuff to people, or I'll stop someone and be like, that is not true, and I'll give them exact answer. Like the guy I had in today, we're talking about distance from the Earth to the Moon. We're talking about something else. And
is it the same for flat and round?
Yeah. Well, that was part of the discussion that we got into.
Is it 93,000 miles?
I said 238,950.
Oh, I'm thinking 63 million or something like that to the sun.
So, and it may be, and so he actually had to look it up, and he goes, well, you're wrong. It was 238,900. I was off by 50 miles. I go, I'm sorry, on 240-ish thousand miles.
Depends on where you're at.
Yeah, a quarter of a million miles, I was off by 50. But yeah, I do like that. But that was a great, I mean, because I also know that she could find another guy that's in better shape than me, that's better looking than me, but it's going to be hard pressed for the average guy to like woo her like that. Like it is cool when stuff is said and she'll ask me, she'll go, "How do you know that?" I'm like, "I don't know. And I'm being serious when I say that." Oh, you've made a friend. It happens every time after you've been here for 2 hours. Okay. So I don't even have music to lead us out.
No.
My outro music. So, but Daddy may be getting a new soundboard, which,
With insurance money.
yeah. So, no, that's Best Buy's Total Tech or whatever it's called now. Yeah, that'll be sad. It'll probably just need to be reset because it's been on literally for 6 hours now. Yeah, well, I would think that some 2000 or 2022 electronics should be able to be powered on for more than a few hours, especially when it doesn't generate any heat at all. So it's not like it's going to overheat or anything. But well, what can you do? So let's just pretend like there is music. Oh, do you know anyone that writes music? Maybe I could ask Bard to do that. So I asked Bard to write a theme song for the Stone Genius. So it did. And it's actually pretty, I mean, the words are pretty good, but unfortunately the syntax that I initially read it at is the same syntax as the theme to Gilligan's Island. So I can't get that song out of my head. So, and it doesn't fit exactly, but so I need music to go with the words they already have.
Funny.
Yeah. It's going to replace us. And here's the thing. I'm fine with AI replacing us as long as AI just prints me free money. Just print me my money and send it to me.
Print someone free money, not you though.
I know. And if I had a button that went wah, 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 wah. Dang it. Dang buttons. That's what I say when I'm in bed with Bobby.
Dang buttons.
Wah. Once again, that would have been a great time to hit that button. God, I don't know what happened to this. Beep boop. Nothing. Green. Actually, none of these. I didn't even mute myself. Yeah. I wonder if I'm ever going to be able to stop this recording. Guess we're going to find out. Yeah. Well, I guess we're going to find out. Hey, Alex, thanks for being back on the program.
Thank you, Ro.
Man, it was so good to see you. It's been a while.
It has been. Just been swamped.
I know, but that's good for you.
At least, hopefully.
Yeah. So, and hopefully I know that you said that there's some things going on with in the industry. So I hope that everything works out in your favor. It's just an interesting time right now. I mean, I'm so glad that recreational weed is in Missouri.
Yep.
Because fucking going to Colorado every month sucked. I mean, I love Colorado and I wouldn't mind moving there, but going there for a 2-day trip sucked.
Yeah. A lot of driving.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. You want to say anything on your way out?